Man, I love this time of year. The start of one fantastic season seamlessly flows into the start of another fantastic season. It's kind of like when you're out for a nice Italian dinner. You're having your chicken parm with the side of angel hair and the red wine for your main course, and then that just seamlessly flows into dessert. The tiramisu, the cappuccino, the limoncello. Doge. Forget about it. That's the old school way. And so is the start of the college football season flowing into the start of the NFL season. I live for this shit, baby. I've waited months for all this football to come back, and now here we are. Thursday night, we are kicking the NFL season off. We have football back for good. The Eagles are hosting their fierce NFC East division rival in the Dallas Cowboys at the Link for their ring ceremony. And these Thursday night games to kick the NFL season off, there's always a weird and wonky feel to it. It's a hell of a phenomenon. It's like the first day of school almost. You've got that feeling of angst. You got those butterflies in your stomach. You just, like Phil Collins says, you feel it coming in the air tonight. And then there's that added pressure of it being a standalone game, having all those eyeballs on you, but these guys are all built for that shit. Most guys that will be playing on Thursday night, given their experience in preseason, this will be the first time that they play a full-speed football game since mid-February. That's if you're the Eagles. If you're the Cowboys, you haven't played in a full-speed real game of football since early January. So, needless to say, these guys will be shaking the rust off on Thursday night. And then there's the raw, pure, uncut emotion of kicking the season off against your bitter rival. And if you're the Eagles, there's that weird juxtaposition of feelings, if you will, between celebrating the success of last season while remaining focused on what you have to do to be successful this season. So you've got to establish that balance on Thursday night. And if you're the Cowboys, you're sitting there and you're watching your bitter rival celebrate the success of last season, and yeah, that's going to light a fire. That's going to piss you off inside. That'll amplify your emotion. CeeDee Lamb even said that he's going to stay out on the field during the Eagles ring ceremony just to absorb it, just to watch it, just for it to be an added sense of motivation. So, giving all of those different factors going into Thursday night, let's keep it simple, silly. Let's not outthink the room. The Eagles have a slew of advantages over the Cowboys. Simply put, they have a lot more depth than the Cowboys. There's a lot less holes on this Eagles squad than there is the Cowboys squad. Let's assess some of these matchups here. And so first and foremost, the head coach matchup. The Eagles have a guy in Nick Sirianni who's coached in 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, winning the most recent Super Bowl. The Cowboys are debuting Brian Schottenheimer. And while I think that he's a great hire for the Cowboys, I think he'll be successful there. It's not exactly advantageous to start your head coaching career on the road at the Link during the Eagles' Super Bowl ring ceremony in that hostile environment. But nonetheless, that'll be the floor for Brian Schottenheimer, and it's really only up from Thursday night. Now let's go into the breakdown of the matchups between some of these position groups between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Let's look at the Eagles' offensive line going up against the Cowboys' defensive line. The Eagles had one of the best offensive lines in all of the NFL last year. The push they were getting was insane. It was like Saquon Barkley was getting 5 yards just like that with ease because of the push he was getting from that line. The Cowboys' defensive line was below average at best. Like, no push at all, no pressure at all, and they didn't do much to enhance it all during this offseason. So you're going to be getting a very similar product this year. The Eagles have a huge advantage in that matchup. The Eagles' wide receiver room going up against the Cowboys' cornerback room. And I know I'll catch some flack for this one, but I'll be honest. Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs, they're both really good corners. But in essence, they're feast or famine guys. I mean, they're all about the big play. They're all about the interception. When it comes to coverage, down for down, they're right around average. They get burnt a lot, but if they can burn you and get a pick, yes, they make that big splash play and it turns heads. But fact of the matter is they're going up against one of the single best wide receiver cores in all of the NFL on Thursday night. The Eagles flex A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Now they got John Mechie, Jahan Dotson, and we're just going to throw Dallas Goedert in there for the hell of it. Just casually. Yeah. The Eagles have an advantage there as well. The Eagles' defensive line, which was ferocious last year, and it still is. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, need I say more, going up against the Cowboys' offensive line, which is developing, but it's very much a work in progress right now. It's coming into shape, coming into form, but it's still like that raw cookie dough that was maybe just placed in the oven 2 or 3 minutes ago. The Eagles have a huge advantage there as well. This may be the biggest mismatch in this entire game on Thursday night, and it could very much decide the outcome of it. The Cowboys' run defense was one of the worst in the NFL last year. They allowed the 4th most yards in all of the NFL last year. And like I said a minute ago, not much was done to change the Cowboys' defensive line. Well, they're, yes, going up against one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, in the Eagles. But behind that line, behind Jalen Hurts, is a running back in Saquon Barkley who shattered records last year. And listen to this. Averaged almost 180 yards. Yes, I said it. 180 yards per game. Not saying he'll do that again this year. Not saying he'll have that same record-setting season. But if Saquon Barkley is healthy, he's going to be a beast again. And he will shred that Cowboys defensive line, that Cowboys defense overall up on Thursday night. I will say this. The one question mark that I do have about the Eagles is their cornerback run. Because now with Darius Slay going to Pittsburgh, you've got, yes, Quinyon Mitchell, but we don't know who's going to be lining up on the other side of Quinyon Mitchell. Is it going to be Jacorian Bennett, or is it going to be Adoree Jackson? Nick Sirianni still hasn't made that decision yet. We'll see that depth chart Thursday night. But that could be exposed by the Cowboys. Dak is going to do his thing. He's going to get it going with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, especially if Philly has question marks with their cornerbacks. For as much hate and flack as Dak gets, in the regular season especially, he does this thing. He is a well above average quarterback, and he'll find that rhythm, that cadence, that chemistry with Lamb and Pickens really fast. And one last thing that we got to take into consideration here is that this is a division game. And so these two teams know each other like the back of their hand. Despite how many mismatches there may be in this game, it will be closer than expected because they know each other so well. They know each other's habits so well. They know each other's quirks so well that they will expose them. And they know how to figure each other out. That's the beauty of a division game in the NFL. But again, let's not outthink the room here. The Eagles are favored by 8 points going into this game. That's the current point spread. It might change as we get closer to the game. I do think that Philly just barely covers 27-17. I think this is close for a lot of this game, but Philly pulls away in the ends. Dallas not having Micah Parsons is going to be a huge factor here. And then the Eagles having a stone-cold killer in Jalen Hurts. He will put that finishing blow on the Cowboys, and they'll pull this thing off. That's my final score prediction. Eagles 27, Cowboys 17. Really good game, though. Let me know what y'all think about that pick in the comment section below, and drop your score prediction as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.